Uh, and I'm going to stop the video right there before you see it in full speed, real time. First of all, peace and blessings and all praises to the Most High for allowing us to be here today. Unfortunately, for a 15-year-old Jaheim McMillan of Gulfport, Mississippi, he is unable to make that claim as we are because on October the 6th, 2022, he was executed by that police officer that you just saw, Gulfport, Mississippi officer Kenneth Nasser at that Family Dollar right there. Now, of course, this is almost 2 years and some change, 3 years old, but yet and still, this is my first time hearing about it. And if it were not for my brother Markel Bridges down there in Mississippi, I wouldn't have no knowledge of the situation. And of course, from the time that this has happened, Gulfport, Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, the MBI, they have cleared the officer of any wrongdoing. And as you saw from that slowed down footage, which was released a couple of days or a couple of weeks after the shooting, they tried to frame and slow down the narrative that young Jaheim was running with a gun. He was in possession of a gun. And they tried to make it seem like that he was making a threatening motion with that gun. But no matter how much they tried, anyone can look at that scene and see that the young man was trying to get away, trying to avoid getting caught with that illegal gun. And when he's running away, you can see him and his friend running away. He starts off to the left, and then you can see a officer trying to cut him off. So he reverses his field and goes the other way, trying to get away. And at no point does he point the gun. But this officer unloaded 8 shots. 8 shots in rapid succession into the body of that young 15-year-old. And Jaheim survived for 2 days until being taken off of life support. in 2 days on October the 8th. And it was then that, the police officers and the federal Mississippi Bureau of Investigation began their investigation, in which it only took 2 months for them to say that the officer involved did nothing wrong according to the circumstances. Matter of fact, it was in February that the grand jury refused to bring charges. And I'm going to show you the official grand jury statement that was released and show you how vague that it was. I mean, it was literally only 2 paragraphs. And this is what it says. This document right here, a full 2 paragraphs. The grand jury has investigated the circumstances leading up to the shooting of Jaheim McMillan by an officer of the Gulfport Police Department on October the 6th, 2022. It makes the following report. Their investigation netted a paragraph full of report. After full and deliberate consideration of all facts and circumstances leading up to the October the 6th, 2022 shooting of Jaheim McMillan and the circumstances as they existed at the time of the shooting, the grand jury finds no criminal conduct on behalf of the officer involved from the Gulfport Police Department. No further action is warranted by this body. February 22nd, 2023. Now, that was only 3 months after the shooting. Now, grassroots advocates and community advocates in Mississippi, and the parents feel that should not be the case. There were several other young men that you saw getting out of the car, or you will see. I'm going to play the ending of the video. I'm not going to play the fast forward part where the young brother once again gets executed. But there are 3 or 4 other young men in that car after, the shooting of Jaheim. And all 3 of them were taken into custody. And they said that at no time did Jaheim point the weapon at officers. He was literally trying to get away. And the officer, gave a vague command, stop, drop it, before he continued to unload in that young man's body. And so, while, I don't advocate for young men, especially under the age of the age of illegal carrying, putting themselves in that situation. However, we cannot allow this officer's actions to be completely justified. And how they try to justify it is by slowing that video down. And just like they froze the video, and the police chief claims that McMillan turned both his body and his weapon towards the officer before the officer shot him. But the video clearly shows that McMillan was running away. And activists and witnesses also claim that McMillan had his hands up. Now, we couldn't see that from our view because he was behind the vehicle. But this young man was shot eight times. And he was then later handcuffed, for an hour and 30 minutes before, being taken to get medical attention. And so they had no intention of trying to save this young man's life. But nevertheless, there has still been no further charges brought about this. Once again, the grand jury decided that there was no charges to be brought forth. Now, the family since then, a year later, have filed a $10 billion lawsuit, a wrongful death lawsuit in regards to the shooting. They claim that the officer failed to properly exercise wise discretion before shooting him and used excessive force in violation of the Fourth Amendment to intentionally inflict emotional distress upon his mother, Katrina Mateen, and to deny her the loss of affection of her son, Jaheim McMillan, for eternity. And also, the lawsuit alleges that they lied and tried to cover up the actions on October the 6th. The lawsuit also alleges that the officer failed to follow the proper protocol in the apprehension of a criminal suspect before firing shots. They claim that the officer's only justification or probable cause for his killing Jaheim was that he was a young black youth. And so today, the family is still fighting for justice for their son. And so, this is another sad case of an officer being overzealous in his duties. And if you watch the rest of this video, you can clearly see this officer's contempt for the young black men, even after he has shot one of their friends. I'm going to play this for you. Look at him. He's backing up, ready to shoot them too. Listen how he talks to them. And the young boy don't know what to do. He's crawling away, trying to get out of the way of fire. Get out of the effing car. Once again, he's already executed one of them. And now he's yelling at evidently some concerned citizens. So this guy is obviously overzealous and has a mental anger problem. Stop! And there's another angle of the live shooting.
T-36, shots fired! Shots fired! We're at Family Dollar. Shots fired! 8th Avenue.
Now, at no point in time did that man have to shoot. That young man was running away. He did not raise the weapon at the officer. So that is the nature of where we're at in society with these police shootings. If they see a young black man running with a gun, it's automatically a green light to end his life in rapid succession fashion. And I don't agree with it. And I know many of you out there don't agree with it as well. So the question is, what do we do at this point when these things continue to happen to, our youth, young men, even young women being shot down in the streets like dogs? There's no other way to put it. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings.